more in today's Community Focus. Governor Dan McKee joins me live in studio.
Yeah.
Governor, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for the invite, Kim.
So I want to start with sort of the breaking news of the day that the birthing center at Newport Hospital is not closing down. You mentioned in a statement to us earlier this afternoon that you had a conversation with the CEO of Brown University Health earlier today. Do you think that conversation tipped the scales?
Well, we've been working behind the scenes with our health department and also Secretary Charest, explaining why we think that is something that needs to continue.
Sure.
And our willingness to work with that. My call to the president was in anticipation of asking him what was going on, and he was able to share with me at that point in time that they've found a way to keep the facility open, and then also to do an analysis of how to, going forward, make it in a way that really works for both the hospital and the public.
I want to ask you about another story that we just heard about in the top of the news. There's some concern about the health and safety of union workers inside of the DCYF building where it currently is located. Their lease is up for renewal. DCYF says they've handled all of the concerns. Are you concerned at all about the safety of that building?
Well, there was a question, I believe, about the report that actually came out today that was shared both to the to the union today, which says that there's no need for any action in that building. So I think that the report speaks for itself, Kim, but we'll continue to monitor all conditions in all the buildings, especially where our staff is working on a day-to-day basis.
We recently reported that the Connecticut Sun, the WNBA team that you were hoping to lure here to Rhode Island, will stay put in Connecticut for their 2026 season. Does that mean the conversations have stopped?
No, that's not a surprise.
Okay.
These transactions take time. I believe that the discussions are still going on, and we'll continue to stay in contact with the group that is potentially buying the Suns, and then really showing a way that the AMP is a great place to have their home games. Put a lot of investment in there, put a new roof on there to make sure it didn't leak. All the seats are all new, all the locker rooms are new, VIP spaces. So the convention center has done a great job, so we think it's a great spot. And I know the public, based on what we're getting at the Tidewater, for the soccer, the attendance there, that's something that that ownership really needs to understand that there's a lot of excitement around the idea.
There's a fan base here that's ready to go.
There's a fan base, yes.
You released a statement yesterday that you've been in regular communication with RIPTA about these suggested route cuts, which we've been reporting on as the agency faces a $10 million budget shortfall. Obviously, riders are really concerned with this. Is this sort of what you expected to happen when you signed the budget into law?
Well, we knew that there's an efficiency study that had to do with the analysis, and a lot of it is very telling, and it gives a job to the board, the RIPTA board, as well as the management there. But you're down 25% on ridership over the last 10 years. You haven't had a fair increase in 15 years. You've expanded the footprint by 5%. So something's got to give here, right? So either you need more revenue or you need to reduce the routes. Right now, the state taxpayers are putting $65 million of their taxpayers' money. So I have to kind of balance the interest of the taxpayers against the interest of the ridership. I have confidence that the board at RIPTA are going to figure out a good spot to land, and let's see what happens with their hearings.
You just got back from the National Governors Association summer meeting. There are some reports that are surfacing nationally that some of the members, including Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who of course was the vice presidential candidate, are declining to renew their dues because they feel like, frankly, it's not worth it. Do you feel that way at all? No,
I actually think that those associations, where you bring the Republican and Democrats together in the same spot, there's a lot of information to share. I find that policy really drives those meetings. I chaired the National Lieutenant Governors Association, Lieutenant Governor, and very active in the NGA as well. Well, I was in Colorado this week for 2 days, in and out, but I was able to meet with cabinet members in the new administration. Dr. Oz was one of them. He shared information that I think it could be very valuable as we try to continue to address our health care needs in the state of Rhode Island. And so I think it's really important that you keep those lines of communication open.
I have to ask you about politics while you're here. Ted Nesi just reported some fundraising numbers. You're approaching $900,000 in your campaign account, but your likely rival Helena Folks has more than $2 million. Do you think you can close that gap?
Well, it's not a finance competition. We're going to raise what we need to run a good campaign. And we'll let the dust settle on that. So we're in a process of raising the dollars we need to. We're going to be a match, so we're going to raise $3.5 million over the time frame and run a good campaign. And really, we don't have control of others, people who can self-fund, and people who can put a couple $1 million in their account and leave it there for 2 years, not touch it, and then tally that into their gross. So we're going to make sure we raise what we need, Kim, to run a good campaign. And in the end, people are going to judge, did I do a lot for the kids on education? Did I raise incomes? Are we healthier? Are we putting more people to work than ever before, which is true, building things that are going to pay dividends for decades to come.
All right, Governor Dan McKee, we are out of time, but thanks so much for joining us here.
Okay, Kim.